All right. Hello. I'm Janae. I'll be your interviewer today.
All right.
And what is your name again?
Anthony?
Okay. And Antoine is the middle name?
Yes.
Ant for short, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So, Anthony, this is my oral history project for Mr. Springer, and you're able to take a break at any time whenever you feel like it. And if you have any questions after, just let me know. And are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
Okay, so when were you born?
New Orleans, Louisiana, 1995.
Okay. Can you describe the place you grew up in?
Well, I can describe Louisiana.
Okay.
Because I grew up in the West Bank, but I was always like everywhere. Grandparents' house in Marrero, and just back and forth, mainly everywhere. So it was crowded, maybe. Some places was crowded, some places wasn't. It was peaceful at the time. Every now and then some incidents would happen, and just basically like the regular rural area.
Can you describe those incidents?
The incidents would probably be either murders or running from the police or like shootings and stuff like that. The basic crimes.
Okay. You've never been involved in any of that?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's awesome. How has New Orleans or Louisiana as a whole changed over the years?
I would say now it's more newer homes and stuff after the hurricane and stuff. Usually when we were there, it was a lot of old homes. Like they look old on the outside or whatever, but sometimes on the inside it would look newer or something. Like, I don't know, a lot of remodeled property, basically.
Okay, understandable. What things are different, and what things do you think stayed the same?
The people stayed the same, but I'll say their outtake on life and how they carry themselves may have changed.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
It's not as much crime rate as it was before the hurricane, and there's a lot more peaceful people there now.
Okay, understandable. Thank you. Where did you attend high school?
I attended high school here in South Dallas at James Madison High School.
And how was your experience at James Madison High School?
It was fun. I had a really good high school. I wish I would have took like my books and stuff serious and played harder. But
What made you say that?
Because when I got to college, as she said, I flunked out of. Well, I didn't flunk out of ACU, but I got on academic suspension because I wasn't able to keep my grades up at the time. And sports-wise, because I could be a much better basketball player and football player than I am now if I would have took it serious in high school.
Yes, understandable. Okay. What was your occupation and or duties in 2005? 2005 during the hurricane. Well, around the hurricane. Well, yes.
Basically, when the hurricane hit, I was like, what, 10, maybe 9, 10, maybe 11. And, no, I was 10, 10 exact, because it's in 2005, I'm 29. Yeah. So 10 exact. And the duties at the time wasn't much. Clean up the house, go to school, do work. That's about it. That's all I had to do. Go outside and play. That's it. At that time, growing up, we had like a specific time. If we didn't get in trouble at school and had to stay in the house or whatever, we had to get out the house. We had to go outside and play, or stay outside and not mess up the house and stuff like that. So,
any particular games that you all played as a child?
throw up tackle. We played nigga knock. We rode on our bikes a lot. We raced on our bikes. Just a lot of children's stuff.
Yes, little child's play.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
Agreed. When and why did you decide to move away from Louisiana?
We moved 2005. I want to say maybe not a month and a half, a couple weeks before the hurricane hit. And we went to Mississippi. Then when we left Mississippi, we came to Texas.
Okay. And what made y'all move before the hurricane? Was that coincidental, or did y'all know the hurricane was about to approach?
Yeah, they sounded alarms and made everybody get out, evacuate actually. Some people stayed, some people didn't. We were those who didn't. So we went to Mississippi first, and then we went to Texas.
So when you moved to Mississippi and Hurricane Katrina hit, did it affect y'all in any kind of way?
Yeah, it actually messed up we were living in apartments at the time, and it messed up the whole apartment complex. And actually, I want to say we went back after the hurricane, and somehow people broke in our house and were stealing our stuff or whatever. So that was it. My mama went back. Actually, I want to say the day we went back, when we first went over there, my mama, our neighbor, was a dude we was real cool with. I can't remember his name, but he has a son. And when we got back, he came out and told us that people was in our house stealing our stuff, and somebody took my mama's leather jacket.
No.
And he chased them down the street or whatever and got her leather jacket back.
Yeah, listen.
Some crazy stuff.
Yeah, listen. We don't know. But that's okay. So did she ever get the leather jacket back?
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. Wow. Did you ever go back to Louisiana after?
Yeah, I've been back maybe 3 times. Once for my brother's funeral. Well, not his funeral, I guess it was for my grandma's funeral. And we had to, I don't know what it's called, but it's
like a candlelight?
Not a candlelight. It's like when you die, before you die, you purchase like lots or something where you want to be buried at. And when we went down there, my grandma died. They put my grandma down, and they put my brother on top of my grandma. No, they put my grandma on top of my brother. Wait, that's not right. When I went the first time, they buried my grandma. That's what it was. My grandma was first, then my brother. But then we didn't have when my brother died, no, that's not right. My brother died in 01. So when my brother died, they buried him, but at the time we didn't have a lot for him, so it was one of our other family members' lot. And they let us use it for my brother. Then my grandma died, then my cousin was killed. So when my cousin was killed, we had to dig my brother up and move him, like across the street or something. So that was the time I went. I went to my grandma's funeral and when my cousin died. And I want to say those were, and the other times was to see my dad. But that was about it.
Thanks for sharing that. How did everyone respond when they heard that Hurricane Katrina was approaching on the news or any media?
Everybody was basically boarding up homes. They started boarding up homes almost a month in advance. And they a lot of people was stocking up, and it was a lot of robberies going on at the time, actually. Right up until Hurricane Katrina hit, it was robberies going on.
What do you think caused those robberies at such a sudden?
Because nobody was around at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was basically, I forgot the word for it, dead man's land or something like that.
A lot of vacant homes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually robbed the mall.
Wow.
To rob the mall.
Goals.
That is crazy.
That is really crazy. There were no repercussions for that? None?
None. They robbed the mall, and then the hurricane hit. Like, I guess, I want to say like a week and a half later or something like that.
Okay. So the people at the malls, they weren't working or anything?
Nobody was there.
Okay, so prior to the storm, what was your opinion on hurricanes? How did you feel about them? Like, did you take them serious, or just how did you feel with your opinion?
At 10 years old, I'm pretty sure I didn't really know anything about hurricanes, but at the time it was a major priority to get the hell out.
Yeah. All right. So, like, how did your mom, like, how did she handle that with you? Was she, like, stressing it? Come on, Antoine, you have to go.
Pretty much. Because at that time, I was the big brother, and James was 8, I think, and Denzel was like 4 or 5. No. Denzel is 14 now, 6 years. Denzel was like 4. Yeah. Denzel was like 4. So we had to get our stuff and pack the car, and it was a lot of people on the road at the same time as we was. Basically, like, have you seen like is it Dawn of the Dead? The little zombie movies where everybody be trying to exit the...
Yeah, like Zombie Land. Yeah, I understand. I get the picture. Yeah, so it was real chaotic.
Right.
A bunch of traffic. Understandable. Okay, so did you or did you not think it'd be as serious as the news reporters were making it seem? If not, why so?
I don't know how to answer that question because at the time, at 10, I was watching cartoons, Ed and Eddie, and I wouldn't pay attention to the news.
Okay. Good answer. Okay. What was your reaction to the hurricane after it hit, or as it was going on?
As it was going on, we were... I want to say we were in Mississippi at the time. We got some rain, but not as bad as the hurricane. At first, I think I remember my mom saying we were going to go to the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl blew away, like almost obliterated. Actually, they said. We was actually watching it as it hit when we was in Mississippi on the news. They said if the eye of the hurricane would have hit the Super Bowl, everybody in the Super Bowl would have died.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we didn't go there.
Yeah.
We thought about going there, but we didn't.
That's good. Y'all didn't make that move. So the hurricane was going on as the Super Bowl was happening?
What did I say?
You said that the hurricane was on the day of the Super Bowl, and it almost hit the Super Bowl.
That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Super. What the? Wait.
It's okay.
It's in. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The stadium, the New Orleans Saints Stadium
Mm-hmm.
in New Orleans. It was called the Super Bowl. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
called like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, I thought you were saying that an actual Super Bowl was
no.
going on.
Oh no, not at the time.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for clearing that up. So, besides the news or people talking, how did you find out that the storm was like approaching?
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. Mom and I'll say people talking like when we go to the store to stock up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What were you doing after you got to an area free of flood?
Probably sleep.
Wow.
Sleep in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Because we went to Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
we had to go to like a shelter home or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And how did the shelter homes like treat y'all? Was it really? How did you feel about the shelter homes?
I mean, shelter home is far from a home,
Mm-hmm.
but you gotta make do.
Mm-hmm. It was better.
And we had cots,
Mm-hmm.
so we had to sleep on. Cots aren't the softest thing.
Yeah. What are those?
It's like it's a bed,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not an actual bed. It's like a travel bed
Mm-hmm.
or something you would use. Like, have you seen like a shelter and they have little things on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
like mats for people to sleep at? That's
Mm-hmm.
basically what it is.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. How did your family and peers react to it? Like after the hurricane, anyone you were close to, or just how was it?
Pretty much everybody
Mm-hmm.
was devastated
Mm-hmm.
because almost majority of the people I know lost everything,
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody really just had to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Start over from square one. And I won't say a lot, but a handful of my family came to Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and a handful of them went to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what made your family members choose Texas, and what made them choose Atlanta out of all of the other states?
Well, I'm not sure why they chose Atlanta, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that everybody was choosing Atlanta at first.
Mm-hmm. Why so?
I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what the discussion, the talk was at the time when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But not many of us. I want to say my grandparents, my grandma. Wait, my grandparents on my mom's side.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's mom. What else? My mom's dad, new wife,
Mm-hmm.
sons is here too.
Mm-hmm.
But they came from, they're from New Orleans too, but they came from North Dakota, something like that.
You saying they came to Texas or came to Atlanta?
They came to Texas from
Mhm.
North Dakota. I don't recall ever being in Atlanta,
Yeah, we're not sure.
but I've been to Atlanta, but I
Mhm.
don't recall being there.
Mm-hmm. Cause you were too young to remember,
Yeah.
or what? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so did you hear anything about an increase in robberies in Atlanta? Because as I was doing my research paper, they were saying how there was a bunch of robberies in Atlanta.
Of course,
due to-
it was everywhere. People from New Orleans went, something happened.
Mhm.
Like when I was in high school, the kids that whoever found out that I was from New Orleans, they would tell me stories about how we were bad kids and how they used to fight all the time at whatever school they went to or whatever. I was like, shoot, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
Yeah. What kind of bad things happen besides like robberies?
Fights, stealing, which is part of robbery. But that's all I remember.
Okay. What was the atmosphere in New Orleans like before and after the hurricane?
Before it was just I'll say before it was full of life, but close to dying out. And afterwards, it's like it's rejuvenated or whatever. And a lot of it's more peaceful now than it was before.
Okay. All right, can you elaborate on how peaceful it is and how it was close to dying?
Because basically at the time it was like before the hurricane, people
I'm sorry.
Oh. It was like I'll say it was full of life before people found out about the hurricane. And people was happy and all that, but it was still having this crime rate and stuff like that. But as it got closer to the hurricane, people started giving up and like because at the time, like what was it, 2005? At that time, it was a Category 5 hurricane, which was the most deadliest hurricane to ever be recorded or some shit like that. Something they said.
We don't know.
But at the time, people lost faith and gave up and stuff like that. But afterwards, everybody started rebuilding and coming together, stuff like that. And I feel it's a better place. I want to go back. My mom was talking about going back Friday, but we're going to Arkansas instead.
What do you mean, like visiting or moving?
We're visiting.
Okay. So you just want to go back to see how things are? Okay. Okay, I know that you said that y'all came to Texas and whatnot, but out of all the places, what made y'all decide to come specifically to Dallas?
Simply because it was bigger and more opportunities. I remember my mom saying that. She said that when we first got here, I think I was like in 5th grade, maybe? 4th or 5th grade. And she was like, there's more opportunities here. So that's why we came.
What kind of opportunities do you think that Dallas has to offer?
Job opportunities, better life, better living. That's mainly it.
Okay, so I already asked, were there any shelters that you or your families went to after the storm? What was the name of the shelter that you all went to?
It was either Red Cross or Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was one of those.
Okay. Do you feel that the people around you were prepared enough for the storm? Do you think y'all had like enough time, enough resources? Do you think y'all were fully prepared? It could have happened better.
Pretty much. Pretty much. 'Cause when we got to Mississippi, we had we always was sleeping on the cots, but like every morning they would feed us, so we didn't really have to go out and buy food or look where we're gonna get our next meal at and stuff like that. But when we got to Texas, where did we go? When we got to Texas, we moved. I want to say the first place I lived was in Grand Prairie. Scratch that. I'm gonna say no because
know about the prepared.
Yeah,
Thanks.
because when we got here, we were bouncing around a lot. So first we lived in Grand Prairie. We stayed in some apartments on one side of the street, and then we ended up moving to apartments down the street on the other side, but in the same area. Then we moved to Arlington. Then we moved to Seagoville. Then we moved to Glen Heights. Then we moved to South Dallas. Now we're in Duncanville. Basically, we was just bouncing around. Almost, I done been to 4 different schools since I've been here. Yeah, pretty much 4 different schools.
And what makes you, like, what do you think triggered that unpreparedness? Do you think that the government wasn't prepared enough, or?
That, and because pretty much we didn't have any help.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, we didn't have any help at the time. It was just me, my mom, and my brothers.
So following up on the helping aspect, I know you said you didn't have any help. I was gonna ask, like, were there a lot of people? Do you feel like that people outside of Louisiana, like different states, do you think that they helped enough, or could they have done more, or do you think that the government should have done more, or like how do you feel about that?
People only do what they want to do. So for me to speak on if they should have helped more, I mean, of course I would say yeah, but some people not able, and some people just don't give a damn. It's just how it is. But the government, yes, should have helped more. People help from different states, yeah, and I appreciate that. But the government, first and foremost, should have helped more, a lot more than what they did.
Yes. What do you think that they could have done more? What do you think that the government could have done more that would have made it a better outcome?
First of all, they let a lot of people die in New Orleans. And I'll say we didn't have much help when we got here. And I know a lot of people didn't when they got here, like with homes and finding jobs and stuff like that. Nobody really had help at the time. So they didn't, I guess that's what the answer to that. I don't know.
Yeah. Good answer. Do you feel like your life changed because of the hurricane? Your outlook on life, perspective, or any type of aspect, do you think that you grew as a person?
Yeah. Because it showed me that no matter how far you get or how much you have, you can lose it just like that.
I agree. Okay, so how was it like switching states at such a young age and having to meet new friends in school?
Oh man,
It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, cause at first I didn't like it, but as much as we move, I just got a habit to it. That's probably why I am the way I am now, because right now I'm the quiet person. I don't talk much, simply because if I have this aura about me that if I meet somebody now, maybe tomorrow I'm gonna move away or something like that.
Yes, I totally agree because we move a lot too. Like I've never moved outside of Texas, but we move like houses a lot. So I understand like a lot of temporary people and things, places. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Do you think that the education system is different in Louisiana from Texas, and if so, how?
Yeah, it is, because if I was in, let's say, right now, I'm going into my second year of college, second to third year of college. My homeboy was, when we was at school together, we was at Seagoville Middle School.
In Louisiana or Texas?
In Texas. In Seagoville, Texas. And he left Texas. He was in the 6th grade. No, he was in the 6th grade. He was in 7th grade. He was a grade above me. He went back to New Orleans, and they skipped him up to the 8th grade just when he got back. For some reason, I don't know how or why. But
simply because he was from Texas, or?
No. He's from New Orleans, but he came to Texas. He went to the 6th grade. He went to the 7th grade. When he went back, he was up. He was up a grade, and I was like, "How did they do that?"
It wasn't adding up.
It wasn't adding up to me. I wanted to do it.
Yes.
Because I wanted to get out of school fast. But yeah, that's what he did. But that's pretty much. And I'll say, from what I remember, back when I was in New Orleans, I was at L.W. Rupel for, I think, up until like 3rd grade. And it was easy.
How so?
Like not easy to where, oh, I'm not gonna come to class, and like I was actually putting my mind to it back in New Orleans. But when I got here, it seemed different. Like I wasn't accustomed to it, and I mean, I'm starting to put my mind back to it now, but back then, grades was like I made 100 in every class. How, I don't know.
We're not sure.
I don't know, but it's a fun learning experience there than it is here. And here it's just dull and they pack you with work. There it was fun, helping you better the way that you learn. So that's what I have to say about that.
So you feel like that Louisiana's education system helps you more because of the way you were more engaged in that?
From my experience, I don't know about anybody else's, but yeah, they taught us how to learn better. Here they give you the work and expect you to know it. That's what I messed up at when I went to college and going to Madison and going to college, because Madison didn't prepare me, and I went from a public school in the hood to a private school, and I got on academic suspension.
Yeah, so it really took a toll on you.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand. Okay. Do you think that Hurricane Katrina has had a negative or a positive impact on the city of New Orleans?
Positive, most definitely. Because it brought people together as a whole. And now it's more of a giving environment now than it was before. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about the incident as a whole?
I never really got over it, but it's still emotional at times. Like I did a class project last year in college, and I bust out in tears.
Why?
Cause it's hard. That's pretty much.
Yeah. So you've been, or have you experienced any historical trauma after Hurricane Katrina? Like you get constant flashbacks of.
Not flashbacks, but.
Or like memories, or.
Yeah, pretty memories as to how life used to be, but not as anything about the hurricane. It's just emotional.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And have you seen it affect the community, like all around you?
Yeah, people, from what I've seen, people are willing to help more than they was before. Like nowadays, you can go there, you'll see new houses being built, people helping others off the street, and people helping homeless people. And like before, then you didn't see none of that. People used to make fun of homeless people and stuff like that. People used to stare. I actually, when I want to say, me and James, we were riding our bikes, and we met these dudes or whatever, and we raced them. Then the dudes wanted us to bring them home, and right when we got, it was like in our apartment complex. It was the laundromat right here, and it was this big bridge that crossed over to the other side of the apartments. Right when we got to take them over, they tried to jack us for our bikes.
Oh my gosh.
So I kept my bike, but James got his bike jacked.
So how did that go about?
That was before the hurricane at the time. So we went around looking for them or whatever. They was in Lincolnshire at the time. At that time, it was horrible. Lincolnshire was horrible.
How so?
I'm talking murders and abandoned houses and all type of bad shit that's not supposed to happen. But I'm not sure if Lincolnshire is still as bad as it was. But my part is better. But Lincolnshire, I heard they had a murder there, like somebody in my family knew or something like that. But that was like, I'll say probably in 2008 maybe. So I don't know if it's different now or what, but it was crazy.
Yeah. So did y'all ever get James' bike back?
Nope.
No.
Never got his bike back.
You didn't want to help him get the bike?
No, we tried. We tried looking for him, but we couldn't get his bike. Couldn't find him.
And that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Any other questions you have for me?
You had what, 24 questions? 26?
25.
25? You answered all of them? That's everything?
Yeah. I think. Let me see. Oh, well. Oh, wait, no. Oh my gosh. We're going to cut that part out. So, it was nice interviewing you, and thank you for sharing all this information with me.
No problem.
And I hope to see you soon.
All right.